been a part of the training that we've been doing with Reba on the psychology of selling. It's a course that you've been partaking for the past 6 months. Tell me, why did you decide to do the program in the first place?
Look, I think, look, I really wanted to improve as a business. And I've got a number of staff here and other buyers advocates. And, I think, it's important to understand ourselves, but also to be able to better understand our clients.
Yes.
And to have strategies and techniques that we can improve in that area, because at the end of the day, everyone wants to improve their conversion rates and what have you. And I think, it all starts with, understanding yourself and also, how you can better understand your clients. So for me, it was, being able to improve as a business and developing some of these techniques and skills that allowed us to do that. It's as simple as that.
Fair enough, fair enough. And were there any positive benefits after the program that really surprised you in your in the way you were running your business and the way you perhaps made change? Because we went through some very deliberate change techniques. Yeah,
I think I can answer this a couple of ways. I mean, for me personally, I've changed a lot in the way that I work, both within the business and also on the business. I've really shifted in terms of the amount of time that I'm spending on the business and to develop others. So some of the things that were holding me back that this course, I think really allowed me to better crystallize was that, delegation skills and all those sort of things. We often just, go ahead and do things, ourselves because we think we can do it better. But we don't really take the time to develop, people and to really see that they're likely to have different strengths and skills and might even be better in certain areas. But you've got to be able to back them and really make sure that you're helping them. And I've done a lot more of that. And as a result, it's freed up a bit more time for me to spend, on the business. And in the business, I still do buyers advocacy work because I really enjoy it, and I don't think I'd ever lose the passion for that. But I think I've become better in terms of how I communicate with clients, and I'm more efficient. So rather than me, talking for long periods of time about things that I think are important to the client, I'm taking the time up front to ask them what's important. Sounds simple, but if you do that and you get the response that really gives you those trigger points, you can focus and hone in on those to make sure that you're getting to the outcome that you want and that you need, and being specific about that outcome. And I think that was a key part of the course, Pancho. And sorry if I'm continuing to talk, but there's lots of components. But I think being clear that at that first discussion with the client, if the objective is to set an appointment, set the appointment. You can close that quickly. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time talking about your services and what have you, because that can come later. So think about the process and get the outcome that you're looking for, and that's what will take you forward. So,
would you say that this has had an impact on your bottom line then?
Yes, I think that takes a little bit longer to really come through, because I can see, and as you know, Sam's doing the course as well, who's part of my team. But I've really noticed the difference in terms of his techniques as well. So his closing, his conversion ratios have really improved. So without doubt, I would expect that will filter through to the bottom line. But because we've been in COVID, and it's difficult to buy for people at the moment, we're probably not seeing the bottom line. But I think if we had this discussion in 12 months, I'd be pretty confident that that would be definitely filtering through to those numbers, because if your conversions are good up front and signing people up, you're going to be buying for them.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think we'll see that next year, and we'll definitely see an increase in our profitability, which I think would be great.
Okay, so in I suppose we can get specific. What did the program help you do that you couldn't do before?
I think sometimes with these sort of courses, there are things that you might have come across previously or what have you. But I think, you made a very good point and you've continued to drum this sort of point home that, it's all about practice and it's all about, and look, I'm the first to admit that sometimes you get quite busy and I would have liked to have practiced some of these things a bit more. And I am going over the material as we sort of go, as I have time and what have you. But I think it's really just practicing those things that are going to make a difference. So, so that, the little techniques like, the feel found, sort of technique and there's different things and language, I guess, that you can use to be able to get the outcome that you are looking to, to achieve. So, and look, I could actually talk for quite a bit if you like, because there's the handling of objections, the things that people probably would like to hear, particularly if there's anyone watching this and
other buyers agents,
is to me. I mean, you're covering off all things, from appointment setting, to
presenting,
to basically to presenting, to handling any of those objections. What mental skills and things are really required for you to be able to pick up on those signals and then act upon them. So I think, and I did go back over some of the course and that the other day, and it's amazing when you go back. Like I went to the very start, okay, and I can now kind of see how everything links together. I think and initially you kind of go from one session to another and you go, well, how are they really connected? Right. But then when you go back, it is very much connected.
It's interesting how this is such an online program, and the results have been pretty damn good for a majority of the people, provided you put the work in.
That's the key.
That's the key. One last question: on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the program in terms of helping you reach your desired results?
Well, in terms of what I said the objective was at the start, I'll give you a 10. Fantastic. I'm not just saying that because we're on. I think, look, I when we first met, because we first met at a conference for buyers advocates, a REBA conference, and I thought the material you covered on that day, there was a lot of really good gems in there. And, I look for these things, and those are the things that, I really kind of hook onto. And I think there are a number of really good techniques that I know if we continue to practice and we continue to master it, it's going to put us in a much stronger position than what we were. And, I'd be quite happy if no one else does the course, because then I'll be the person that can use it.
Competitive advantage, right?
But no, look, honestly, I mean, it's always going to come down to what you said anyway, Ancho. There's some people, that will do a course like this and perhaps not put in the time or do the practice or do whatever, and they might not get a lot out of it. But those that do, will really improve, in how they do business and how they interact with clients, and it will have a market result. So
that's good. Bottom line, right? Well, I'm really grateful for your honest feedback on the course, and we're there to help people if they can become successful as buyers agents, and we can increase the professionalism of buyers advocates. I think everyone wins. The professionalism. We're raising the bar. We're not just doing things on a band-aid basis. We're actually increasing the professionalism of the industry. We're helping clients make the right decisions, and we're dealing it from a point of integrity, but also business.
Oh, look, it's a very good point, because look, at the end of the day, if anyone's using a buyer's advocate, I'd like to think that they are professional, and they can look after the client and do a great job, and anything that increases the professionalism of the industry is a good thing.
Fantastic. Well, I really thank you for your time today, Leigh. I'm looking forward to catching up with you next year as well. We keep on up and upward.
Yep.
Thank you, and have a good break during this December period.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks,
Fantastic.
Pancho.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers.